Hey, good morning. Good morning. So welcome to the July 2018 Meritorious Award Ceremony. I'm Sheriff Mike Williams, and it's my pleasure to host this event today. So we're here today to honor the men and women of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office who have gone above and beyond in their duties to provide outstanding service to our community. And I want to thank the many employees of the agency, especially our supervisors, who take time to submit these nominations that highlight the good work of our employees and citizens in the community that help us in our mission day to day. And ultimately, from those recommendations, our agency's chiefs, through our merit board, vote on those nominations and determine the Employee of the Month honorees and medal recipients. I also want to thank all of you for being here with us today. So we're going to begin today's ceremony offline as we recognize individuals who either work undercover or just prefer not to be on camera. So if you would please turn off any recording devices and refrain from taking any pictures unless you are a member of the family. All right, so you may return your recording devices back on. Our next award winners are not shy of the camera. So this month we actually have 2 Police Officers of the Month honorees, simply because we could not split up this recognition. I think you'll understand why in just a minute. Again, you may not know them by name, but you'll probably recognize them from television. But our 2 police public information officers, Melissa Beheda and Chris Hancock, join you at the podium. So Chris and Melissa are assigned to work in the Professional Standards Division, and more specifically in the Public Relations and Information Unit. Today they're being honored for their efforts and forward thinking to help increase our communications with citizens we serve. Additionally, their teamwork has led to a decrease in auto burglaries to vehicles in our city. So 3 years ago when I became sheriff, I pledged to focus on 3 things: reducing violent crime, engaging the community, and using our resources efficiently. Well, it's no surprise that Chris and Melissa have helped with these 3 to-dos, and they strive to make sure that JSO is transparent and accountable to the public each and every day. They do this by using tools such as JSO's social media accounts to get the word out about crimes in our city, and more importantly, they have one-on-one dialogue with our citizens. What you may not know is that in addition to going on television and populating messages on social media, these 2 process crime tips and fill public records requests as well. Basically, this means they work all different hours of the day to make sure that the citizens of Jacksonville are informed on what's going on in our community. To get an idea of the impact these 2 have on the community, let me read out some numbers documenting their work product just in 2017. So these 2 processed more than 8,000 tips that came in from the community. They sent out more than 650 news releases and media advisories. They responded to nearly 20,000 private messages on Facebook Messenger and participated in well over 150 ceremonies, events, and media interviews. Additionally, this duo filled more than 10,000 public records requests just last year, and this number represents about 20% of our total public records requests for the entire agency. So their witty and interesting approach to posting on social media helped JSO earn the Folio Weekly's Best Local Facebook page recognition in 2017. Lastly, in the first half of 2017, there was an upward trend in auto burglaries and firearms theft from vehicles, and actually that's been a challenge and a problem in our community for many years. Melissa went on a search for a way to use social media to help reduce these incidents and keep guns off our streets. She discovered a program being used by another agency where citizens were reminded every night to lock their doors. So working with Chris, they launched a 9 p.m. routine. Excuse me, you guys may have heard of that. I don't know if you have or not. Here in Jacksonville. And every night since mid-June of 2017, our social media followers have been treated to humorous memes or daunting statistics to help remind them to lock their cars and remove their weapons from their vehicle and secure them safely in their homes. So I'm happy to say after 1 year of the 9 p.m. routine, routine reminders that we've been sending out, there's been a 17%, actually year to date it's about 21% reduction in auto burglaries to unlock vehicles in our community. That's great work. Chris and Melissa's immediate supervisor, Police Lieutenant Chris Brown, said this: "Many of our officers oftentimes exceed expectations, but Chris and Melissa have done something in their positions that I have rarely seen. They have dedicated themselves to a lifestyle where they engage our community every single day of the year, through holidays, through hurricanes, and through many missed family events. So Chris and Melissa, I want to thank you for your hard work around the clock to help get vital information out to our community, and I'm honored to present each of you with the July 2018 Police Officer of the Month Award. Congratulations." Police Officer of the Month award is sponsored by our friends at Chevrolet. Unfortunately, a representative couldn't be here this morning, but they sent the awards to us to give out on their behalf, so we'll give those out. I'm sure they'll see you next month. You guys have any family here with you today?
I have my daughter and my husband.
Thank you guys for coming.
So they through all the calls all night long.
I have my wife, my 3 boys, and then a niece here with me.
Awesome. Thank y'all. All right, for our next award of the day, I'd like to invite Public Records Coordinator Jade Gibbs to join me at the podium. Jade's here alone today. So Jade works behind the scenes in our Public Records Unit, where she processes requests that come into the agency. Today, she will be receiving the July 2018 Civilian Employee of the Month Award for her overall approach to her job, and more specifically for the way she handled a request that was assigned to her in November of last year. You can imagine working in this unit requires a certain skill set, which includes an eye for detail to make sure that the files are thoroughly reviewed for redactions prior to them being released. This not only protects the agency involved, but individuals involved, and helps us comply with the law. Another important trait that is being in this role is being a good communicator. That goes a long way in helping to understand what the requester is asking for so that an estimate can be provided, taking into consideration the many facets of what the individual is looking for and how long it will take to review the redacted materials. Jade has exhibited these skills and has proven herself in that role. In fact, in November of 2017, she was assigned a request for traffic camera footage for a specific date, time, and location. Prior to the disbandment of the program, Jade worked as one of the red light camera liaison officers to help fill those requests. However, this request was not that simple. The footage had to be carefully reviewed to make sure that what was on the recording did not capture anything from an active investigation. Through Jade's review of the footage and in-depth search for police reports from that time period and location, she learned that the video contained in the event actually had an individual being arrested for DUI. She also learned that the requester just so happened to be this individual's attorney. So Jade worked with the state attorney's office to find out the status of the case so that she could proceed with filling the request appropriately. With the case pending prosecution, Jade was meticulous with her redactions. And when the General Counsel's Office received a call from the requester questioning the redactions, Jade was able to fully explain the actions that she took were in full compliance with the law. Jade's immediate supervisor, Frida McDowell, said this, and I quote, "She always goes the extra mile to ensure she processes her request correctly and in a timely manner." She went on to say that Jade is always willing to help her fellow employees and goes above and beyond in her job duties. Jade, I want to thank you for your dedication to your job and to this agency. I want you to keep up the great work, and I'm honored to present you with the July 2018 Civilian Employee of the Month Award. So the Civilian Employee of the Month Award is sponsored by Alhambra Dinner Theater and my friend Craig Smith. And I'd like to invite Craig to the podium.
Sheriff, I think you need to invite Jade and her family and friends to all of your subsequent news conferences. I think they'll go a little better. Congratulations, what a great performance. Do this a lot, and so it's always great to hear folks that contribute at the highest level. So congratulations. There's 2 tickets to any show. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang goes through Sunday. Hint, hint. It's the best show we've ever done with a flying car on stage. So make sure, you come out, all right? Thanks so much, congratulations.
you have anybody with you here today?
Her son.
Her son. Hey,
My
buddy.
public records family.
Congratulations. Let's give her one more round. So actually, let's, the entire public records team, would you guys stand up for me for a second? So this group processes public records requests, almost 100,000 a year that we get from around the city, and they do a tremendous job. We had a huge challenge come when I came into office, and needless to say, through great leadership, Agnes, thank you, and through the hard work of all these men and women, we have really turned that place around down there, and I just wanted to take a minute to recognize you and thank you for that. Let's give them a round of applause. For our next recognition of the day, I'd like to invite Police Officer Greg Bryant to join us. Greg. So Greg is a patrol officer in Zone 4, which is located on the west side of the city. And today I am presenting him with a certificate of commendation for the actions that he took earlier this year when he responded to a call involving an unresponsive male. On the morning of Wednesday, March 7th, Greg responded to a call for service, and when he arrived at the scene, he learned that the patient was in cardiac arrest. After updating the dispatcher, Greg got the man out of his vehicle and carefully lowered him to the ground so that he could perform chest compressions on him. Greg continued his efforts for nearly 4 minutes until rescue arrived on scene. Rescue personnel used an AED on the patient, and the shock helped give them a rhythm before transporting him to a local hospital for further care. At the hospital, the patient remained in critical condition for 3 days, and sadly, he did not recover and ended up passing away. Police Sergeant Michael Moon credited Greg for giving the patient's family the opportunity to say goodbye. So while the incident did not end up the way we all hoped, Greg's actions that day should be commended. Greg, I applaud you for your efforts, and I'm honored to present you with the certificate of commendation.
My wife Tracy's here with us.
Thank you for coming, Tracy. Let's give him one more round of applause. So our mission statement here at JSO continues to be to serve and protect in partnership with our community. This is more than a statement, but a call to action for every employee here at JSO to strive forward each and every day. And I truly believe that we cannot do our jobs without the help of citizens in our community. So our next few awards are being presented to citizens in our community who have aided us in this mission. I'm going to begin with telling you how Thomas and Stephanie Separano earned this honor. Thomas and Stephanie, would you please join me up here today?
Thanks, all good.
So today we are recognizing the Separanos for helping us locate a missing elderly couple earlier this year. Incredible story. So on Saturday, March 3rd, patrol officers were dispatched to the 6100 block of Pettiford Road in reference to a report of a missing married couple, both suffering from dementia-related issues. The investigation revealed that the elderly couple left the residence at approximately 2 p.m. the day before and were planning to go to church but never arrived. The following morning, when church members responded to the couple's home to check on them, they discovered that the couple was not home. It also appeared that they had not been there since the day before. The church members attempted to contact the couple on their cell phones, but their efforts were unsuccessful. Additionally, cell phone locations were showing that the couple could be possibly as far away as Daytona. So all of this information, along with the couple's photographs and the make, model, and tag number of the vehicle, was shared on JSO's social media channels. Now this is where Thomas and Stephanie come in. Around 9 p.m. on Saturday, March 3rd, they were traveling on San Jose Boulevard when they noticed a vehicle being driven erratically in the roadway. Stephanie just so happened to have shared the JSO Facebook post earlier that day, and she and Thomas immediately recognized that the vehicle was the same one from the post. They contacted JSO and kept the vehicle in their sight until Zone 3 patrol officers were able to stop the couple's car. The two elderly individuals were disoriented, hungry, but otherwise they were in good condition. Sadly, they had been lost for approximately 30 hours, and at one point had traveled as far away as Daytona. So Police Sergeant Ed Howard said this, and I quote, "Thanks to the alertness, concern, and quick action, Stephanie and Thomas Efron likely saved this couple from a more serious fate." He went on to say that our partnerships with the community are vital to successfully resolving issues like this, and I agree. Thomas and Stephanie, thank you for helping us bring this case to a successful conclusion, and more importantly, for helping this couple find their way home. So I applaud you for your efforts that day and really appreciate you stopping to help. And I'm honored to present each of you with a certificate of appreciation. Thank you very much. You guys have any family here with you?
Our son's here with us, Charlie.
All right. Parents are superheroes. So keeping with that theme, partnerships in the community are key again to our success. And we are fortunate to have great partners and the support of many organizations throughout our city. Today, I'm honored to recognize Michael Harris, who's the owner of Oceanside Cleaners, for helping us with our mission. Michael, would you join me at the podium? So for the past 9 years, Michael and his staff have been gracious supporters of our Jacksonville Reentry Center. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Jacksonville Reentry Center, or as we commonly refer to it here as JREC, this is the area of the agency that is committed to successfully reintegrating former felons back into our community by helping them become productive members of society. This in turn reduces recidivism and increases public safety. Upon their release from incarceration, clients are offered assistance with day-to-day functions such as life skills and filing for social services. In addition, JREC helps provide clothing for job interviews as well as items to wear to work after the individual starts their new place of employment. This is where Michael comes in. He graciously donates unclaimed dry cleaning items to JREC and they provide them to their clients. This type of community support is important as it helps JREC clients secure employment, which is a huge step in their reintegration into our community. So Michael, I want to thank you and your staff for partnering with JREC for all these years and for providing this service, and I'm honored to present you with the certificate of appreciation. Thank you so much. Have some family here with you?
I do. I have my mom. Yeah, that's my wife, Amy. My mom, Mary. My daughter, Claire, and my son, Mark.
Thank you guys for coming. I see some of our JREC family here. Would you guys stand up for me? So, as you heard, this team does amazing work in our community. We always talk about, you know, prevention, intervention, and enforcement. And intervention is intervening in the lives of people when they need it the most. And these people do it each and every day, and they help keep our community safer by doing that. So I wanted to take a minute and recognize you guys for that. Thanks for being here. So next, I'd like to recognize individuals who have reached an important employment anniversary with JSO. So celebrating 30 years of employment with the agency, with Information Systems Tech Analyst Jimmy Van Gorder. Now, with 25 years of service to the agency, with the following employees join me at the podium: Assistant Chief Adam Penley and Police Emergency Communications Officer Alicia Paradise.
Awesome.
Celebrating 20 years of employment with the agency with Medical Support Aid 3, Barbara Brown joined me. You guys are a lively bunch this morning. I like it. So next I'd like to recognize an individual who I recently appointed to my staff, overseeing the day-to-day operations and patrol of Zone 1, with newly appointed Assistant Chief Jimmy Judge. West Side? So with 27 years on the department, Jimmy has worked his way through the ranks and had the opportunity to serve in various roles throughout the agency. This includes, but it was not limited to, various areas of patrol as a supervisor in the School Resource Officers Unit, and up until recently served as the commander of the Mobile Field Force Team. Jimmy has earned numerous accolades throughout his career so far, including the Police Supervisor of the Month Award in August of 2016. At the end of June, I appointed Jimmy to the rank of Assistant Chief, and he serves as the Zone Commander for Zone 1 right here in downtown Jacksonville and Springfield. So Jimmy, I can't wait to see what you accomplish in this new role. Wish you the best of luck in this new chapter of your career. Congratulations. Let's give you one more round of applause. Jimmy and I started the police academy in May of 1991 together. It's been a few years ago. Congratulations, Jimmy. So for our next two presentations, I'd like to recognize those who were recently promoted within the agency. So our first honoree is currently serving as a watch commander in the South Side area of Jacksonville and would recently promoted Police Lieutenant Mark Romano joined me. So with 21 years on the department, Mark has had the opportunity to work in countless areas of the agency along the way. During his time as a police sergeant, Mark served as a supervisor of patrol along with several areas of the Investigations Division, including the Outer Burglary Task Force, the Burglary Unit, and the Special Assault Unit. And most recently, Mark served as a supervisor in our Integrity and Special Investigations Unit. Then at the end of June, he was promoted to the rank of Police Lieutenant and is currently assigned to work in Patrol Zone 3. So Mark, congratulations on your promotion, and I wish you the best of luck in this new role. Mark, congratulations. So for our next presentation, I'd like to ask newly promoted Police Lieutenant David Smith to join me. So in just a few weeks, David will celebrate his 20-year employment anniversary with JSO. Throughout his time here, David has served as a school resource officer, an investigator for the state attorney's office, a supervisor in patrol, Zone 6, the burglary unit, and the robbery unit. And most recently, David served as a supervisor in JSO's homicide unit. At the end of June, he was promoted to the rank of police lieutenant, where he currently is assigned to work Patrol Zone 1. I should also mention that David was TOL, as we call it, top of the list on the promotional exam. So David, congratulations and keep up the good work. There's a family here with you?
Yes, sir. My mom, Linda, and then retired cold case detective, A.J. Roberts.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. So from time to time, the Florida Sheriff's Association asked me to help them recognize business leaders in our area that help support the association. So today I have the honor of presenting a plaque to Gary Charles Worth from Portamax Power. Gary, would you join me up here? So for those of you that are not aware, these donations help advocate for laws that protect victims' rights and enhance public safety. They provide state-of-the-art training to law enforcement personnel around the state, promote anti-drug campaigns and initiatives, and support Florida Sheriff's youth ranches for at-risk kids. So Gary, I want to thank you for your annual donation to the Florida Sheriff's Association. We all appreciate your support. Thank you. So for our last presentation of the day, I'm going to invite our accreditation team to join me up here at the podium. And I'm going to hand the microphone over to Sergeant Nick Bliss and Diana Windland, who oversee our compliance section, to explain a recent accreditation that we were awarded. All yours.
Thank you, Sheriff. We've had a really busy year in accreditation, and you guys have heard from me several times this year already. Today's award is the highest award we have achieved this year, and I'm going to let Nick Bliss introduce the team and talk about that. But this award is not possible without the hard work of our Department of Corrections. I want to recognize Director Morris, Chief Calloway, Chief Carter, and any other Department of Corrections employees are here because their daily work was evaluated over a 3-day period, but it actually represented 3 years worth of work that had to be tested and tried out. My team up here put the pieces together, and I'm very proud to introduce our accreditation manager for the project, Sergeant Nick Bliss.
The Excelsior program for accreditation reads this way. The Excelsior recognition is awarded to the Florida criminal justice agencies that have demonstrated an exceptional commitment to the Florida accreditation process. We were the first agency to receive our 3rd Excelsior award. There was one other agency during this time period that received it as well, out of 34 counties. So I'm very proud to say that we were the first actually to receive it. It goes to show the commitment of this agency and what it means to them for accreditation, and I will go with what Diana said. It's all because of the people that work here and the efforts that they put forward. So thank you very much, and I appreciate all the hard work that everyone did. All I did was show it. That's all I did was show that we could do it. So thank you very much.
So we have had a busy year in accreditation this year, and really, in a nutshell, this is us comparing ourselves to the best practices and standards at the state and national level, and we've excelled all year in these operations. So again, great job from the staff of putting all that, Diane and her staff putting it all together, but really a tribute to the men and women who work in this agency day in and day out. Your work is unmatched when it comes to national standards and best practices around the country. So thank you for that, and I'd encourage you to keep up the good work. So with that ends our ceremony for today. I want to thank our sponsors, as always, for making this ceremony possible, especially for our award recipients. I want to thank all of you for being here today, and travel safe. Thank you.